Ribbit. All right. Today, I'm going to go over, change my read table. I'm going to try to go over CLOS or CLOS or CLOS. However, someone wants to pronounce close. Change the read table. I also want to open up the Xerox Common Lisp. I don't know which one's better to use, the Common Lisp or the Xerox Common Lisp, but I just want these two. Oh, now that I have a big screen, I usually work at half screen, so then I want to get this browser open. If I just click on here, it brings up a little window. I have not figured out how to use this thing yet. I don't know if you can middle click. So now to get rid of this, if I just try to close it, I don't think it'll go away. Like part of it does, but this part won't. So I just hit Ctrl+D and then I can close it. I don't know if Ctrl+E would have worked there, but let me try that. Because I found probably it's better to hit Ctrl+E when you can. I can, yeah. So maybe Ctrl+E is better. Ctrl+D is good whenever you're in the debugger and want to get out, especially if you have a bunch of them. It'll just like unwind all of them to back to the top level. Like if I was to hit Ctrl+B over here, this is like an interrupt. So here is where it's good to hit Ctrl+D. No matter how many of these you have open, as far as I can tell, it'll unwind them unless something gets stuck. Sometimes things do get stuck, but that's probably me doing something wrong. So if I come over here to the CLOS browser, I haven't figured out all these two. It took me a while, but if I just choose claws right here, and then I'm just going to reshape this thing. You know, I don't even know how big it is. Let me see if I can move it. Okay, so of course there's that problem of that coming over, but you can see some of the stuff's cut off anyway. So I'm just going to reshape this. And then some interesting things about this browser right here is it seems like left mouse click and middle mouse click on the title bar do the same thing. And then just anywhere right click and you can do this. Although you can't seem to just grab somewhere and scroll, you can come down here to the bottom. And then if I was to scroll over here, I can scroll around. Once again, the scrolling is kind of weird. Like left click goes to the right, right click goes to the left. And the further over you are is how far it'll scroll. Just the way it's like, so like if I come over here and click, it'll just jump the whole time, where over here I have to click it quite a few times. Let's see here, there's a browser look. Change format, and I want to say by default it's a horizontal lattice. Then you have a vertical lattice, a horizontal tree, and a vertical tree. The vertical tree, like these, just have these things coming back and forth, and the vertical tree, I can just show, I guess, would move it over like this. But the trees don't go back and forth. It's just like a normal type of structure, where if I was to say horizontal tree, just to compare it, change format to horizontal tree, and then scrolling down scrolls up, scrolling up scrolls down with your middle mouse. And then you see it's kind of cleaner looking, but this one I'm guessing has more info in it as far as showing what comes back and forth to different things. So I just keep it on the default one. And then so far I haven't messed with add root, I don't think, but over here, recompute labels. So if you add something in here, I know sometimes it updates automatically. I don't know if it's when you do something, But if you want to see it right away, you can recompute the label. And sometimes it doesn't update at all, so I don't know. At least with the children. So I don't know, like an sedit, like if I was to call, like if I was to call ILEF and then want to call this entity, let's say my class, I don't know how to make a, like, where do I go to make a class? In Lambda, I finally found out that means it doesn't evaluate stuff inside there, so I don't know if that's like similar to making a macro or something, or a back-quoted list. I haven't messed with it, I just read that finally somewhere, because I've been wondering what that was. And then also, I think it's ILED. This might have to be outside the parentheses, I can't remember. ILED entity, let's say. And then once again, could it be types though? No. I don't know. Like structures. It's kind of weird sometimes the way this works. Gotta come back. I think you can go like that too though. Yeah, so I have no idea how to make these other than just typing it in, I guess. So def class, I am in the Xerox one. Entity, I'm just gonna call it entity so I can have different things. And then just gonna do it in a way that's kind of cleaner for me to type in, but at the same time, kind of ugly that you don't have the, what are they called? Do I put the colon on the first one? I think so. So name, init name. This I'll make it an accessor, even though it might not change the name. And I think I close that. I'm not very familiar with CLOS at all. The indentation is what I was trying to say earlier, but whatever. Level. So I'm gonna give them a level, an HP, and a strength, let's say. Should probably give them a type or a race, but I'm just gonna make that the name, I guess, that I call my variables. So level, same thing as over here. I'm just gonna say init-arg. If I could spell that right. Init-arg. I need a level. And init form. So the init-arg, I guess this is the name of the thing I'm doing. Init-args. How I'm gonna like access this thing by, I think. Init form is what it's gonna be. An accessor is how you read or write to this. And accessors both read and write. You can also use reader or writer. And I've never really messed with this too much. I was going to make a video about CLOS a while back ago, so I researched a little bit. I never did actually make one yet, because I didn't feel very comfy messing with it. But I started to try to look into loops, which is, I'm guessing Lisp object-oriented programming system or something like that for Xerox loops. I found a book, this why it's like called the Loops Primer or something like that, but I couldn't get this to work. When I try to load it, I start going through dependency hell of it wanting everything, so I just kind of ditched that. That's where I saw this mentioned. But once it didn't work, I didn't go to that book, and I just started figured I'd try to mess with CLOS instead now. So HP init form. Just say like if it's not given, then that's what this is. If you don't specify what it is, it's just going to default to 1. So it'll default to 10 if I don't tell it anything. And an accessor, say HP. And so that was one more strength, I guess. That's what I said I'd do. So init-arg, strength, init form. Wow, I'm going to default to 1. And accessor will be str. And then I want to say you can put a documentation string here, but I don't know how to, like, if you can access it in the Interlisp. Because I think you can also put each slot can have a documentation also. These are slots, by the way. These can, each one of these is a slot. These can have a documentation string too, but I don't think it's portable. So I don't know how portable this documentation string is going to be either. And I'll just say etc, I guess. So hero npc. I should probably be more descriptive, but whatever. So looks like something messed up there. So what I'm going to do is just type fix. And then it does it its own way. So what do we have here? Dev class entity name init. Did I just put init there? I guess I'll say all caps since it was already there. So name init arg. Name. Accessor name. Then level. Init arg level. Init form 1. Accessor level. Let's see. Let me get that blinking cursor. It's distracting to me. HP init arg HP. Init form 10. Accessor HP. Strength. I believe I typed it correctly. Now maybe? Okay, so now I have an entity. And then notice over here, it doesn't have it over here yet. So if I come over here, recompute, then I want to say I go to recompute labels. Now it brought this up. And, well, let me just see if that documentation works, because I'm wondering that. So, documentation. And then I want to say it's just like this. And I get nil back, so yeah, I don't know how to get that to work, so I guess I just won't worry about it for now. And then if I want to create a child, then I guess I could have created this like, you know, that might have been the way to do this. Come to standard object, create a child of this, and then it'll let me use sedit, I bet. So I want to say if you come over here and hold down, is it control? Yeah, hold down control. You can move these things to wherever you want. Just gonna put that kind of back where it was, and then right click, redisplay to get rid of that. And then I'm gonna middle click. If you highlight over here, you'll notice over here in this prompt window, which I wish the mouse inverted when I went in there automatically or something, but in this prompt window right here, if I come over here and highlight, but you gotta wait a second, it'll catch up. It says to create a subclass of this class. So if I say specialize, then I should be able to create like a child of an entity, let's say. And so that's probably how I could have created this also. Just come do that to this. So standard object. Yeah. And then now this is messed up. Maybe I shouldn't have re-clicked that. What if I say redisplay? No, it wasn't messed up. Somehow it scrolled down. Oh, probably because that thing came down a minute ago. So I just had to scroll down to get going up. And then if you hit a backspace right here, it makes a little square. Keep hitting backspace, it means nothing. But now I say pet. I don't know if this is going to work because I don't think I've done this yet. Backspace. And then I want to say I have to put another parentheses inside here. So I'm just going to make a noise for the pet. And then it was init arg. And the first one has colon with it. And then here I'll just use a reader. And all the indentation and line breaks and stuff or automatic. Like I don't know how to force it to put a line, like a line break right here. So from here, I'm just going to hit Control X. You can also middle click right here. You see Control X will be done. And then you can done and close, compile, compile and close, or abort. If you abort, then you have to do another extra click. But for right now, I'm just going to Control X. Well, that didn't work. To save it because I didn't want it to close. In case I have to edit it. And then right here, we're getting. So it's saying there's an invalid initialization argument on an arg. So can I edit this? No. So what I'm going to do is just hit Control D to get out of there. And I wonder, I am using XCL user, but I wonder if this just isn't implemented, or let me see if I can just click this whole thing one more time. Well, if I hold down Control and do that, it'll get rid of it at least. I wonder if I have to make this all capitalization on that, and then probably this one too. So reader. And then hit Control X. And then here, see, this time it updated automatically. I bet it's because I'm using the S editor, the structure editor, versus typing it in here, because the last time it didn't. And I usually use this repl over here, but I'm trying to get used to this also. So maybe I'll try to make an instance of that, which I don't know how to do over here either. So if I was to come over here and middle click, I can edit this and do stuff. Here's slots. Maybe that'll show what slots it has. So, oh, well, it's not what I was expecting it to do. I was thinking it'd be a what's it called? Inspector window. Methods, local. Wonder if like browse maybe. Sorry, but I'm just trying to see. Oh, here's an inspect. I can't scroll down. I can scroll to the right. So here's some noise I added. I'm not seeing the parents. So maybe it'd be more interesting to do that to the other one I created, the parent. So maybe I can just close the stuff. I don't know, like if I hit Control D, well, it doesn't close the rest of these. Like this window comes up still. Let me hit Meta A to abort that one, because I think just closing might save it. It does in T-edit, but I don't know about in S-edit, I guess. But I think it does. Or maybe it does in S-edit, not T-edit. But I'm pretty sure in S-edit it does. And there was a D-edit. I don't know if D-edit's a precursor to T-edit or S-edit, but I'm thinking it's T-edit because I loaded that up and got it to work, but I just don't know how to use it. By calling it up, it kind of opens up a window, but I can't do anything in that window. As far as editing things. So where was I at? I was trying to... So I don't know how to make an instance of it, so I'm just going to come over here and do a def parameter. Oh, you know how I could do that, I bet? I don't know, like, do I just say like il df? No, it's il. Let me just see il-ed tree frog. Let me make this global or special, whatever you prefer to call it. Yeah, so it's going to be il-ed tree frog. And then here, be under variables, it'll give me a def parameter. Okay, so tree frog, and then the value and the documentation string. I'm not going to worry about a documentation string, let's say. Well, because that's putting in there, it'll probably work, but maybe I should have just tested it. I'll wait for another video to mess with that though. So tree frog, and because what I want to do is make instance. See, I don't know if I have to make this all cap or not. I guess I just should, because I don't know what needs to be and what doesn't. Well, this is all common Lisp. Oh, never mind. I don't have a choice. This is all capping by itself. So let me just come over here and see if it's on all cap already. All right, because my keyboard doesn't highlight anything. So instance, and then I'm gonna give it a pet. I guess when I saw that right there, you see that I put, oh, well, I can't put a space there, so it was showing, oh, because I put the quote there. Now it's showing something belongs. I guess you get used to this, knowing this is going to be the name of it or something. So pet, and then name, and now it's automatically putting returns there. Oh, well, like right here. I don't really like it doing that. So hopper, and then level 1. And then I think it was HP. Let's give it 10 HP. And then the pet str, just make that 0. Because I'm not really going to use this dude, I don't think. And then, oops. Because I didn't put a space there, like I can't see the space, but because I didn't put a space there, it didn't. Ribbit. And then, so just Control X. And find class, no class, name pet. What do you call that guy? Okay, so if I say Control D, maybe this has to be lowercase? I can't make it lowercase, can I? So, gonna hit Control X again. And find class, no class name pet. It's kind of strange. Maybe I'm typing something wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the error that I'm typing in. I wonder. Slots methods. I wonder if there could be. Well, I'm not using a method on here though. Can I recompute somewhere else? I don't know what this does either. Let's see what this does. Recompute. So Control X. I hit Control X. I didn't see an error that time. Did I have to recompute that? So now if I was to say tree frog. All right, so if I say compile that, no. And find class, no pet. Recompute lasers. Lasers. We clear the caches. Can't do that either. Control D to get out of there. Okay, so let me I don't know why I can't see the other box or whatever. It's not popping up anymore. Let me just close that. It's still sitting over here though. That's kind of strange. If I say edit, editing clauses definition of pet. And an original news reader. So let me try to say this one more time. This time from the menu. Oh, man. Maybe I'll shrink this. And here it says it got updated. So I was in the wrong and all that time too, but oh well. Live and learn, I guess. I don't know. I guess didn't work over here either. Tree frog has no definitions. So I was in the Interlisp window a minute ago. So I would think this one should be right into this one. Pet compiled. Well, that's a pet entity. Where's my... Man, I wonder if I was in the wrong window when I did that. Let me just expand this real quick. No, I don't think I'm over here. So shrink this one. And then, where's my... So let me close this thing. I want to close this guy too. No, I can't click anywhere in those. That one I can probably leave open. So I don't know where that went. So let me try this again. So I tried to use the IL ED tree frog that was from this window. So yeah, it didn't save it for some reason. I don't know if I want to type all that again because if it doesn't work. So what's going to happen here is I'm just going to type it over here. Parameter tree frog. Move the cursor out of the way. And then make instance pet. And then we're going to give it a name of Hopper again. And then level 1. I mean, I don't even know CLOS, so to come over here and try to do it inside here. I don't know how intelligent this is, but gotta learn somehow. It's telling me the same thing. So what do I have to do to make this work from over here? I don't know what that does. Okay, so it looks like I could have somehow I think I can actually go like this though, right? So let me just try to highlight everything over here. I'm gonna click over here. Do I shift a copy? So if I was to hold down shift, maybe, hold on. I'm gonna click over here and then hold down shift and let go. I'm gonna put these guys here. Guess it's okay if they're lowercase. So now if I was to say, I don't like the way it did that. But let's just fix 23. It'll just have to be ugly. No class name pet. Fix 23. Now it has to be lowercase maybe though. Oh, you know what? I think I just realized there's not a quote supposed to be here because I'm making an instance of that. Oh, talk about something that should be edited out. I don't edit this stuff, so let's just go back and, well, it's not over here though. So that was in my, I can't highlight this stuff right here though. This means I probably could have done the definition correctly over in the S-edit. I'm just gonna do it like, what was it? IL ed tree frog, and then the tree frog is gonna have no documentation string, and then value is going to be make instance. I do have to put the pet quoted though, I think. Let me Alt A and abort that. Fix 25. Class name pet. Let me fix 24. Get rid of this thing here. And then fix 27. Okay, so I don't know. All I did was get rid of those. Maybe when I made that thing, I had to use those stupid bars because it's reading it as uppercase automatically or whatever. But yeah, a lot of wasted time on there. That's all because I was trying to use this. If I was typing in here the whole time, then no big deal. But I don't know. It's kind of, the whole idea of using Interlisp was about the structural editing and memory and stuff, but it just doesn't seem as smooth whenever you're, I guess, in between, because a lot of these programs are for Interlisp and not this common Lisp, so I don't know. This I don't need anymore, I think. So now I have, so I should be able to say HP tree frog and noise, let's say tree frog. All right, and N. Now the question is, this is like around the time that, this is an ANSI Common Lisp, this is around Common Lisp Language 1 book. And I don't know, like loop, is loop in there? So loop for X and 1, 2, 3. Then we have a do, print X, let's say. And X is unbound variable, so we have loop. Okay, so it is looping. Ctrl+B. This brings up the interrupt window. And I don't know if I can just say return from here. I think you can say question mark, oops, question mark equal. It'll show you the local vars. inside whatever, but I'm not really inside a function, let's say, that I created anyway. I don't know what this int function means or whatever. But here I'm just wondering if I can say return. Yeah, so I was stuck in an infinite loop right here, let's say. And then now I hit ctrl+b, but I could also hit ctrl+e to break out of there. I could have used ctrl+d, but I'm getting used to hitting ctrl+e. Unless that doesn't work, then using ctrl+d, unless I'm inside the debugger. At the moment anyway. So, but what I did here is it's looping. Now we hit ctrl+b, and then since we're inside this loop, and we can return and loop automatically, at least in modern Common Lisp, has a nil block, which means you don't have to say, like from a function, I might have to say return from whatever the function name is. If there's a nil block, then you can just return. And then that broke me out of there. So then, well, now I want to go back in the other window. So let me expand this guy. I'm just going to shrink it again when I'm done so I don't forget. But over here, Interlisp has a for without the loop. So for x and 1, 2, 3. Print without the x, without the do, I think. Yeah. So just so I don't go back in there. Even though I thought I did earlier accidentally and I didn't. Or I was, though, actually. Just didn't type all the other stuff in there. Which means, can I do that here for x in 1, 2, my shift key is going out, 3, say print x, and no, undefined chara form 4. So then can I say il for x in 1, 2, 3, print x, and now I'm in some kind of infinite loop again. So I don't know. Can I just return out of there? I wonder. Control+B and return. Yes. So fix. Oops. So Control+U to get rid of that, and fix -2. And then that gave me a different error than it not working. So I wonder if I just have to say ILN right here. And then I hit Control+X. Yeah, okay. Control+X just jumps to the end of the form. And since it was closed, it ran it. Which, if I say fix, then I should be able to come over here maybe and just say ABC, Control+X. All right. So we could do it that way, but I wonder, like back then, is there a do times? I wonder if I say do times I3. And just say like print I maybe. Okay, so I can't do that also. So I wonder, now let's try to just maybe do a do times. So do times I3, and then format T tilde A tilde A tilde % for a new line, and then try to grab something from there. So noise tree frog. Now I wish I knew how to like copy that from here. I don't remember if I knew how to do that already. Okay, so now we can get our noise from the tree frog. And then I wonder, so let's make a generic function to take damage. And you can create a method and automatically creates a def generic. I don't know about back then, but I guess it would to make it convenient. But we can add a documentation string. I just don't know if it's going to work. So take damage, let's say. And I don't really know how this works very well, but I want to say like we'll have the entity that's a defender and an entity that's an attacker. And then I want to say the documentation string would go here. And this is different. Also, that's might be why I can't get it to work or don't know how to. Because I'm putting documentation. And normally you just put a doc string as a second line in a function, and that's how you get this. So applies damage to an entity, let's say. Just put this in here to see if we can grab that. So then if I say documentation, but then you have to tell it what it is, right? So like take damage. But is it actually a function? Because it's a generic function. Would that just be a function? So I get nil. I don't know. And then create a method for that. So def method. And then a lot of times I just put, like normally I would, well, normally, like I don't mess with CLOS. So when I was learning this, though, I want to say I was just using this. But I want to say the second one's the one that ties to that. So I think I can say like defender here. I don't know the proper way to do this. And then just to let it know, it's also with the entity. I think that's what the second thing's for. I misspelled attacker. So let me fix 49. Because I'll just forget that I misspelled attacker. And then let's say, I guess I got to recreate that def method because I got rid of it. Def method, take damage. And then I'm going to give it defender, entity, and then give it the attacker. And then just make this, well, I think I saw I could create methods for these things over here, but I don't want to get all confused again. Maybe I'll edit stuff over there, but create it over here just to get used to the other one. So I use the HP of defender with strength of attacker. All right. And have I created anything yet? I guess I have a pit. So do I want to try to do that again, or should I just make it over here? I'm just going to make it over here. So let's say def parameter, just because I don't want to waste so much time messing up in a video, I guess. Another global. And make it a ghost, let's say. And then make instance. Entity. And name, I'm just going to name it spooky. Normally I'll use symbols, but just working in here, it's probably easier if I just use a string, so I don't have to manipulate that stuff later. And then let's say level 1, 12, string 2. So maybe the ghost is kind of tough. So then we have a ghost. It just comes back as an entity, but we could say HP ghost and get the ghost's HP back. And then, I don't know, let's just try to go something like format T, and then we'll have the name tilde A. So it's name level HP string. So format T name. Should I put a new line there? So tilde% level tilde A tilde% HP. Tilde A tilde%. and then give it strength. I guess I spelled out strength and didn't spell out health, but whatever. Tell A 12% to put a new line. Close the quote. I'm just gonna hit enter because it's getting so long. And then we'll say name. I guess the only thing I have here is ghost and the pet, so level ghost. HP ghost. Oops. And str ghost. Now we get name, level, HP, and strength back. So that looks like it's cool, it's working. Then, once again, I'm just going to stick over here. So defun, and let's create like a function to create an entity, which is basically going to be a way to like make one of these guys, I guess. Make another ghost or something else. So this right here, we'll give it a name, a level, an HP, and a strength. That's what we'll pass. And then here's where you normally put a doc string. So let's just say like create an instance. Instance of an entity. For a game, I don't know. And then from here we'll say make instance. And make it an entity because we're making an instance of an entity. And then let me just put it like this. Name, level, HP, and then maybe like make the HP and the strength determined by the level, so whatever level you put in there. So we'll say HP plus level, so whatever the HP is plus whatever level they are, and then same thing for strength, so plus str level, and then that way the stats can be manipulated by what level they are. So now we have a create entity function, and then if I say documentation, oh, I don't have a dude there yet though. Yeah, I should be able to say that though, right? Documentation. If I say create entity, and give it a function here maybe. Yeah, so that's how you can get back a doc string. But notice this is not me typing documentation something like I was in the classes. So I don't know. I think you have to put, I don't know, maybe you could have done this in there too, but I don't remember. Or no, I haven't really messed with it at all. Just for like a day or two I've messed with this. And that was a couple months ago. So I think just for now, I'm going to create a couple more global variables, and then after that, try to make it inside a function or something. So def parameter. Like this would almost be like if I wanted to create 3 things, ironically, this would be a good place since I'm in this anyway, just to maybe type it here. Def parameter. Oh, you know what? I can fix it though, so that doesn't matter. I forgot about fix. Never mind. Let's just do it this way because it stays to the Interlisp way of doing something, even if I'm not doing it the Interlisp way at all. So let's create a hero. And so then we use that function, create entity. And then we'll pass in a name. So let's make our hero's name Corinne, let's say. 110, let's say 1. And then if I say fix that, then we can, if I hit delete, yeah, it stays, keeps the earmuffs there. So a blob, I guess. Who doesn't have a blob in there? And then hit delete here. And so GUI, and I'm just hitting like alt open paren, alt greater than. So if I was to say one more of these, nope. So parens go back by word and less than and greater than go forward. So I'm just gonna hit delete, delete, delete. So I can retype this 2. Let's just give it 6 and 1. And then this is gonna be modified, so it's actually gonna be 8 and 3. So it doesn't have much health, but I guess that dude will hit pretty hard. And then let me fix that, and we'll do one more. And I'm just gonna say, like, let's make like a puffer fish, a puffer. So we'll go 3, 4, 2. So they might not have a lot of health, but they chomp pretty hard too. And then level 3, so it's gonna modify that dude. And then we'll call him Puffy. And I don't know how to delete the word backwards. But, well, I guess it would be forward, and it's a puffer. Because some of these keys I can't hit, so Control X. I don't remember if that's one of them. Maybe that's why I don't know that, or I just don't know how to do it. Because I'm in a browser window. And so now I should be able to say, well, I already did name ghost, but we have name of a ghost, let's say, and get the HP of the blob, which is 8, even though we type 4 here because it's being modified by this guy. And then strength, well, I guess the blob's up here. And this one will be modified to strength also, strength, buffer, 5. And then we still have our hero. So, oops, name hero. All right. So I wonder like if there's a do list also. So let's try to make another def parameter, let's say. And I'll just say like all entities for all the ones I created so far. And then make this a list and have hero, ghost, blob, and puffer. So, I don't know, I think it's just gonna spit back a bunch of entities. Entities. Wow, maybe I should call it something else. There's a way to modify the way they spit these objects out, but I don't know how to do it. I've seen people, I mean, I've read about CLOS, I just never really messed with it, but I've seen people modify this. I want to say Cave. He's got a video where he does that. That's how you spell his name. He's making some kind of 3D program. I messed with it a little bit. I was going to make a video about it, but I never did. And then he made a bunch of videos. So I wanted to try do list. That's why I did that. So see if there's a do list. So do list. I think it's like X. If I say 1, 2, 3, and then print X. Okay, so then if I want to do it this way, I'll say do list. And then let's say entity for all entities. Then format T tilde A So I just want to say like just choose ghost. For example, ghost is level (a). Ghost is level, let's say 1 instead of (a) because it makes more sense, with 10 HP and 2 strength. And then a new line. Then I can just kind of look up there and see, we'll say their name of E, the level of E, HP of E, and the strength of E. And then this spits this out. And just to, so I don't have to, because I can't scroll up in this window, what I'm going to do is take a snapshot of this right here. And just put it over here as a reference. And remembering that if I want to make them the same, I have to subtract 2 from anybody's, like from their level. I'm going to have to subtract their level from this right here, I guess. And I guess the next thing I'm going to do is just create an obnoxious function. And although stuff is weird when I'm creating these things, like I tried to do earlier, once I get rolling, I'm hoping I can just edit this more and more inside here. So let's say battle till death, battle to death, battle till death. I don't think I need any args in there. And here I can give it a doc string. So battle till heroes HP. Heroes HP is 0. Is drained. I don't know if it's normal to put punctuation in those things or not. And then let star, I think, because I'm going to kind of do what I did right here. Create some stuff and then like have a variable that holds all the ones that I created so far. So let's say we're going to need a hero. Create entity. And then it was, here's where I can reference this thing over here. So it's Corinne. And 1, 10, 1. If I subtract 1 from those for the level. Okay, so just so this is a little cleaner looking for me, I'm going to enter this like this. Although this is not the way I'd normally type it in Emacs or something. So then ghost. Create entity. I don't know if I was inside like a VM right now, if there was there could be ways I could be pasting this stuff. And since I don't know how to go like this might be a good spot to actually use this clipboard, even though I was saying maybe I shouldn't use that. But I'm going to cheat real quick. So now I'm going to, I can copy that line though, can't I? There's a shortcut for copying the previous line. Man, I don't know if I wrote any of those down. I'm torn. Okay. Oops. I'll just do it this way because it's faster. I don't want to like look stuff up right now. So ghost create entity. There is a way though. There is a shortcut you can copy lines inside the alt keys. I'm gonna have to write those down. It's just I can't, like on YouTube, I can't use greater than and less than. So I can't necessarily type it, although I should just put them in there to make it easier. If I listed all of them that I know or knew, I have to watch that video again or something, or look them up. I found a doc that has those in there. So Spooky's level 1, so I can just copy that exactly. Maybe I don't want the closing there, so it doesn't automatically run this. So purposely I won't put the closing one there. So here I can hit Alt-V. It'll paste what's there. So on this one, that's fine. And then, oh, it wouldn't have ran that anyway, because I'm inside of a function that's not closed. So we're going to call this one blob. And his name was GUI. And then 261, if I can do math at all. And then Alt-V again. And the next one's Puffy, which was a puffer. So puffer, his name was Puffy. Let's see if I say Alt 3D, maybe it'll delete 3 of those args. And then 342. And then right here, I guess this is where I should create enemies. So enemies. And this is why it had to be a let star, because these 3 are gonna be inside enemies. So list, and that's ghost, blob, puffer. And then I think that might be all I need. So just for now, I don't think this function is going to do anything. But maybe this is where I can start using fix. Let's see what it does. So nothing's happening. It's a fix. -2. And then, well, not altered everything, but that's not a big deal as far as indentation. Because I can just, whatever new, I'm just going to left align it, I guess. And so from here, I probably want to be in some kind of loop. So after enemies, I'm going to close that let, and then we can come over here and then loop. And I wonder if there's a like loop. There's loop until and loop like when. So I don't know what I can use here. So let's try to do like a loop when. Which it might be better to open up a new window, but we can just test it out real quick, I think. So like when less than or equal HP of hero to be 0. Let's just return dead, let's say. And then if I say redo 72, so now we're in a infinite loop because the HP is not being subtracted anywhere. To test if the when's working, let's do a ctrl+b. And then I wonder here if I can hit that equal, question mark equal. No. Is that not the right thing? There is some kind of command you can type here that'll show what all these variables inside here are. I wonder if it's because I'm inside the loop. I don't know what happens if I click on this. Does it do anything? Well, I know what they are. By the way, like you can do like a BT in here. Like, so kind of like a backtrace. There's BTV, I think. And a BTV exclamation mark. And this like gives you a different view. I can't remember what all these things mean. One way you can know about these is process state window, status window. If you bring this up, then you can see some of these commands you can do. And over here, you would click one of these guys. And then if I click this, it shows these. And then you can see the different things right here. And it's, I think you click this and then you click this type of deal. I'm going to close that window though. And then I'm just going to control E out of that. And so let me close this window. And then what we need to do here is set the HP of hero to 0. And so I wonder if I type OK, it's just going to bring me back here and the loop's still running. So Control B again. And then like right now I'm stuck inside that. I wonder how I tell it like stack frame or something, like go back to where I'm in the battle instead of, well, here's where this is set, but I want to be able to see these guys right here. You can, if I wasn't in the loop, maybe it would do that. I don't know. I haven't messed with this enough. So I guess I'll need to say setf HP hero 0. And then now if I hit OK, then it returns dead. So that win did work. And then now I think fix -2. Oh man. So all those, I don't remember. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of those. Does that mean like fix -6? So it would have been fix -7 maybe if I was on the right spot, but now it'd be fix -8 because I just made another one. Nope. Fix -10. Oh man, this is not going to work good. Now I'm way back there. So I'm going to try to just go back to, oh, you know what? Fix, I forgot. This is where I was typing that. So I just say fix 73. I was trying to go backwards. Then notice before I'm fixing stuff and it lets me fix over here. At some point, which I was trying to figure out just now, at some point, if it gets to be too big, you're no longer going to be able to fix stuff over here. You're going to be fixing stuff over here. Which is hard for me because now I can't even get rid of all these things that I want to get rid of all the time. Which might also mean that I want to reshape this thing. Hopefully it doesn't mess up. I'll just do it like this in case I have to click on that Corinne thing and see it on that snapshot. So let's see. So return dead. That's not what I want to return. So let me get rid of this. And then what I want to return is format. And then if you die, it's game over. So just so it stands out, I'm going to do it like this. Game over. And then Maybe I'll just battle till death. Gonna battle random characters is why I made this right here. And so when you're game over, let's make it to where you can, it tells you how many battles you won maybe. Which also means I'm gonna need a random enemy, so I might need a current enemy here also. Like, I think these guys I could get rid of maybe. And I can't even click where I want. So I think I have to be careful in here what I delete. Well, those aren't even letting me delete them. But I think now it'll type over them. There we go. Also, the shortcuts that work over here of moving around with the Alt keys don't work over here, which I dislike a lot. I really wish the Alt keys worked over here. That'd probably be the #1 request, is to, well, to be able to edit this window would be nice. And to be able to use those Alt keys over here would be nice, I guess. The shortcut keys. But I just think they expect you to, like, it was just, you type stuff around over here and use your mouse a lot over here. Well, it's not going to let me put the enter there either. So I want to have one battles. So here I'll say, can I just call it one battles maybe? One battles and give it 0. And then I wanted to have the current enemy. And I think I can just make that nil. And that should close all my let bindings. And then now I'm going to loop. So now I got to figure out what this loop, well, I wanted this for this actually. So game over, you won 6 battles, let's say, tilde battles, but it's easier to think sometimes if I just fill in the number. And then I'm just hitting the double quote and it's writing over it, I guess you could say. And then 1 battles will be for that tilde sitting there. 1, 2, 3. That will go to the win. Wow. So it's just so weird not being able to hit enter in these things. And then here, I guess I'll need more than 1 loop. Because here I want to set the current enemy here. Then when they start fighting, that would have to be a different loop, or else it'll set the enemy every time. So I'm going to say setf, and then current enemy. And then the current enemy is going to be a random from the enemies list right here. So I'm just going to use nth. So setf current enemy to the nth of the random length. And I don't know about random state either. I wonder, let me just exit right here. Let's make another one of these dudes have a second. Like, is there a random state already? Yeah. So I'm not going to mess with random state. Control E to get out of there. I don't think it'll hurt to just leave that little window open in case I want to test some more. But if this was supposed to be really random, like maybe it's already setting a random state to begin with, or you might have to set that, but I've done that in enough other videos. I won't mess with it here. So length. So what was I at? I was at nth random length of enemies. So linked enemies. Gotta put a space there. And then close that. And that's the nth of enemies. And that closes the set off. And so maybe here we'll say which one you're fighting just so we can see. So format T. Then we'll say like Corinne attacks. Is it attacks though? Because right here, not actually attacking. So maybe Corinne is fighting. Corinne is fighting. So Corinne is fighting Spooky, let's say that's the ghost name. So Corinne is fighting Spooky. And then we'll go to the battle scene after that where they're fighting. And then we need to close the quote. And so this is going to be name hero and name current enemy. So name hero and then name current enemy. That closes that. You want to see, this is where I have to put another loop in. I'm still not. So I think I'm just going to say I'm still not able to get out of this. Like I'm not subtracting this anywhere, but if I say Control X to save that, it wasn't supposed to close that window though. Control X just saves that. I don't know if it hid it behind there or not. This right here, I don't really need it to be that big anymore. Except for one thing, let me shrink this down. And yeah, it just disappeared for some reason. So fix, when I type fix, I guess it did that. And then, I'm not even sure. I don't even know if, because now I'm not typing that in. I don't know. Like I'm not typing over here, so if I fix 73, does it just pop up with this and I lose all that other stuff? So I need to say like DF it maybe? I don't know. So here, Corinne is fighting Spooky. And then I can hit Control E to get out of that. And so if I was to say like redo, Control E, redo. So every time it's fighting the same thing. That might be where the random state comes in. Oh, nope, there we go. I just didn't do it enough. So it is random now. And once again, I could say Control B, and I guess I could just say return also. Now there's two loops though, right? So Control B, and then if I was to say set f hero, so I think like there was two loops there, so when I could like set return, it's just returning out of one of them. So, but if I set f HP hero 0 and then type OK, I'm still stuck inside that thing. So I wonder if I returns the other one. Can I return a set off, I wonder? Set off HP hero 0. And then that got me out of here. because the first loop returned to the other loop, and the other loop saw that my HP was 0, and then spit it out. And then the other one I tried to just set it, but this, I guess that didn't work. Anyway, probably it's getting confusing now, but oh well. If I can get confused, I guess anybody that bothers watching it can too. Let's see here. So yeah, now I totally lost the number. It was 72 maybe, but I don't know what's going to happen when I do that. So what I'm going to try to do is ILDF. I don't think I have to quote it. I don't remember. Battle till death. And then now we come up and we have exactly where I was. So here's our second loop. Oh, this is going to get to be too much. So I'm just going to kind of cheat here to some degree and not make this. Let's just say, I'm probably going to have to make it where, because the hero is going to be 0, I'm going to have to check for the hero to be 0 or the enemy to be 0 too many times to just be convenient, not the video be too long, and I'm sitting here wasting time explaining it. But so what's going to happen now, I guess, is if the enemy kills the hero or the hero kills the enemy, they're going to get a last swing. So whenever you kill something, it actually gets a last swing, and then it'll make sense. So right before you die, you get the swing one more time. And in that case, I want to return here. Can't force it though. So, oh well, you know what? So this loop, we're going to put a con here. And the con's going to have an equal. There's going to be two of these. It's going to be a lot of repetition still though, but not quite as bad as it would be, I think. So let's say random 2 equal random 2 0. Then we want to format T. And here we'll have the hero attack. If that does, the hero attacks and then the enemy attacks. And if not, then the enemy attacks and the hero attacks. So format T, and then we'll say, so let's just say the hero first. So Corinne attacks Spooky now has 1 HP. Put the quote, double quote, close that. And then click on the next line, even though I can't choose that. Name. So now hero, name hero. So Corinne attacks name current enemy. And then grab the HP by calling the take damage method, because that's returning the HP after it's manipulated. So here I want to say take damage. And the defender's first, so it was current enemy. Oh, no, it's current enemy and hero. All right. And there's the cond has an implied prog n. So now I kind of just want to copy all this and just have to switch it around just to try to get used to this. So I want to put my cursor here. I'm going to hold down shift. Man, see, this is ugly right here. This being up here and these two being down here. But whatever. Let's see. So I need to grab that whole thing. Now I clicked here first, then came over here and hold shifts, and I let go. It copies all this stuff over here. And then what all do I have to switch around here, I guess? I don't know about this. Name here. Oh yeah, this is confusing because it's on the separate line. So now we're going to say name current enemy. So there's two ways. I can come over here and click and then hit delete. And then I want to say Alt U. Meta U is to undo. So the other thing I can do is just hold down Control. And if I click Control until it highlights what I want to get, then I let go. It'll get rid of that. So here I can say current enemy. Oh wow, you know, they're already typed here. So another thing is just to undo this. Right? That's the way it was. So I want to say if I click here now, and then I'm going to hold down Control and Shift, this is going to cut and paste. And I want to grab this whole thing and let go. And so these two guys just got switched around. And then, you know, that might be the best thing to do here too, actually. So since this is a shorter one, let's just move this over here by clicking here, and then Control Shift, and keep clicking hero until it stretches out to where I want it, and hit a space. I almost hit Control XS to try to save. So and this is going to get. Can I just use this exact same thing? So I'm going to, instead of ending this off, I'm going to keep doing this right now. So this is this, and this is this. So we'll grab that, we'll grab that. And then hit enter here, but that doesn't do anything. So now T. And like I'd like to just hit enter and go on the next line, but I can't tell it to do that either. Oh, well. Now I want to say that I just need to do the exact same thing that I did up here. So from here, I'm going to hold down shift. And I don't know where I can start clicking, but just for it to grab. Like I don't want to grab this part though, right? So how do I cancel that? I don't know. Oh, just click anywhere else. I can't tell it what I want. So I'm going to click just anywhere else. And then, so I wonder if I just grab this one first and let go. I'm not even going to try to click anywhere, just hoping it's in the right spot. And then let go. Then here I can just go like this and check it was in the right spot. So this just switched it around. So this guy gets to attack first here, and this guy gets to attack second, and then this just swaps that around. Or else the like hero's level was too high, it would never die because it would always get to go first, I guess. And then, like I could test to see if this is working, but I guess I could try that though. So Control X to save. That time it didn't close this window over here after a fix, so I guess I was wrong. Just sometimes it'll do one thing, sometimes it'll do another. And then now they're still going forever. So it's just still an infinite loop. From this loop, like this loop is set to break right here, but this loop's going crazy. So I already showed how to get out of that. So I'm just gonna hit Ctrl+E. And then I wonder if I come over here. Yeah, it doesn't show me where that matches. So I can come on this side though, and just start over typing these. And then I want to say, like now I want to get out of this cond all the way. And the next one would be out of the loop. And if I hit backspace, then it won't actually close those. So here's where I want to be, I'm pretty sure. And then now I want to tell it to get out of this infinite loop. So I'm going to say when less than or equal, just the same thing I have up there actually. I didn't have to type this out, I could have copied it, I guess. I mean, this is probably the way that people did it back then, so let me try that. So if I'm right here, I'm going to hold. I'm right here, right? Let me go back one just to make sure. Yes, this is where I want to be. So I'm right here. Uh-oh. That wasn't very smart to click it again, I guess. So the cursor's where I want it. So I'm just going to hold down Shift. And then click this. Oh, it did it too much, so click right here. Oh, well, I guess I didn't want to get all that. So maybe that's not worth it, worth the effort here. So I'll just retype it. So when less than or equal to HP hero 0, I guess I could have copied that much of it or something. And all I want to do is return. So did I type that right? I typed it wrong, didn't I? So here's one thing I don't know how to do is, how do I get, well, can I just cut that parentheses? Like this thing is in the wrong spot. So this guy, I can't type these. I can click on this, but I can't click on these parentheses. So let me just click somewhere and hopefully don't do nothing. Like, how do I shrink that? Find, remove, substitute, fast, expand, extract. Extract one little structure, unquote or unlist. Parenthesize. Parentheses, the current selection. I'm going to try to replace the current selection with its definition. What? That's not. Extract one little structure, unquote or unlist. Like, what is that? What is that? Command. Alt / join was join do. Join selected items together. I want to move this parentheses over here. Like this is. Like I don't know what it's gonna do. I don't want to mess all this up. So there's another way I could do this would be to move this over one. Yeah. So Control-Shift. Oh, sorry. I gotta click where I want to be. I want to be right here. So I want to Control-Shift this guy over one. There we go. It's a different way to think, really. Then like I would have to type these more inside these guys. This is why I'm just doing it down here to get a last hit. I'll just keep this a little bit shorter. So when less than or equal to HP current enemy. Yeah, sometimes this font's really hard for me to read. Enemy 0, especially lowercase. The one benefit about being uppercase is it's easier to read, I think. Even though making it uppercase is harder to read, but the lowercase on this font. So inkf 1 battles. So here, if the enemy gets killed, we'll make 1 battles go up more. How many battles we won. And then that's still not going to get us out of this. Like this loop, when the hero wins, we just return. It'll take us up to this. And then this is going to check if the, if the hero's game's over or not. So this hero died, but instead of saying anything else, this is already checking and spitting this out. So when we return, the first thing it's going to hit in this loop is this and spit this out, so we're fine. Now, if the enemy dies, then we want to kill that dude off, increment 1 battle, and then come back over here and then pick another enemy to fight, I guess. So that's going to happen automatically. What we need to do here is just return like format T, and then say you just defeated, and give it the current enemy you defeated. So you have defeated. Wow. Delete. Must be getting late. Well, it's getting early. You have defeated Spooky, let's say. 2%. Then we actually have to give it the name of current enemy. And I don't even have to check these because, as far as I know, but what's nice, it should be fine because it's kind of a structural editor, right? But going like this, at least it highlights everything so you know. Like, yes, that's what I want. So Control X would save, but here we could also come over here, say done, Control X. Done and close. We'll close this window, which I don't necessarily want to do. And then I could like done and compile, which it doesn't bother me to compile that, I guess. I probably should make sure it works first, but it's still not going to hurt anything. And then now if I say battle till death, I forgot what it was even called already. Battle till death. Then it doesn't look like that worked. So Control E that. So Control X. Let's say I'm done. So I wonder where I messed up. Let's see. Set middle click. So let me try that again. Puffy's not dying either. Neither one of these guys dying. Let me Control E out of that. Redo. Just to see what's happening. So it does say Kryn is fighting. Kryn attacks Puffy and now has 5. And then Puffy should attack. And then right here, either one of these guys got out of there. So Control E. And then, yeah, try to get it to unhighlight some of this stuff. So What's this thing ending at? Less than equal HP 0. Do this. Part looks correct to me. Let's see these guys. This is closing that. That needs to stay open. Okay, so let's redo this. They are changing their stuff there. I'm not seeing my error anywhere. Apparently I'm not closing in the right spot right there, so let me go back over here one. Okay. My loop is closing. I thought I checked that, but I didn't check well enough apparently. Okay, so I need to move Control Shift. So this is just one. Let me just see right here real quick. Do I have to move those one at a time? Like I don't know how to grab those. So I don't know how to grab this and this. I'm sure there's a way. And it's just highlighting. Oh man. Alt-U to undo? I did not mean to do that one. So I might have to move these just because I don't know how to do it any better. Move this one first, let's say. There. That didn't do anything, did it? Or did it? It just doesn't look like it. So I'm still in the same spot, so I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to grab this win also. Control Shift. With it where I wanted it to be. And then just look right here real quick. See what the rest of it. I think that's what I needed to do. So if I say Control X, no reason to recompile it when it's broke. So Control E. And then redo, hopefully. All right, there we go. So just for the heck of it, let's come over here and I'll just show. Okay, so if I'm over here and I middle click over here, it doesn't do anything. So maybe I have to be over here, click in this window, and then middle click, or be in this window and just double middle click over here. So then if I done and compile, now I could probably close that also, but at least that function should be compiled now. So I don't know that these will be much different really. So it is a little bit different. But it'll probably be hard to come over here and do anything different, much different anyway. But if I just come over here and change this, I mean, I could, like, you know, get a battle, get some XP, level up, or whatever. But just for simplicity's sake, I can come over here and change this one to, let's say, let's just change it to a 4. And then I'm just going to Control exit, Control X, something like I said exit, but now redo. And then right here, you know, I won one battle. So if I come over here, let's just make, go ahead and start off at level 8, Control X to save that, and then redo over here, which technically I'm just calling battle till death again when I type redo. And then we can see, so if I also type 1-4 battles. So I almost want to say, I need a, I almost want a new line in here. Fighting the order. I wonder if there's a place where I can put it to where we're in this fighting. So just one last thing. In the first loop, where so-and-so is fighting, if I put right here and do a tilde, $2 %, hopefully that exists, Control X, and then redo. There we go. Just to separate the battle for like each one. I wanted to put it there for more than one reason, but there's depends on 2 different people winning here, so that puts it in one spot. And so let's just say, because it's not scrolling, which we've already seen this scrolling, but now this battle might be a little bit longer to where it actually scrolls. I could resize my window, I guess. It's like when there's a loop right here. Like, I don't know for sure, but I think it's actually paused the execution of a loop until you hit space. I don't know that for sure. I know like in Sly, it doesn't necessarily do that, but here it might, because when I break and then come in here and come out, it doesn't spit out 1,000 more things, where like in Sly, if it's in an infinite loop and you can sometimes not even get out of there, but when you do, then it still has a lot of junk to throw out. And so hit any key, and then so that time I won 6 battles. So I mean, I don't know, I'm gonna just go back and change this to 4, and then Control X, and then maybe just compile that just so it's finally compiled again. I'm gonna even close that, because I think that's everything. I don't need this anymore. And then I guess this, if I wanted to save all that stuff, like where's that class and all that stuff go? I have no idea. So if I also say files, question mark. Wow. See, I have, like I'm always in Interlisp, so do I have to say like IL files? And then we have the class definitions, the generic functions, the method. Like that advice I don't want. This one right here I don't want. As far as I know anyway, like I don't know. And then here's this pet. So I don't know. Like we have two different ones. Class definitions, pet, and entity. And then we have type definitions, pet. So I don't know. Like this one and this one I might not want. And this one I do want. I have no idea. And these are class definitions, but what's this type definition? Do any of these other ones have that? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to answer yes. Class definitions, pet. So I think I'm going to call this Interlisp CLOS battle. .lisp, let's say. Create a new file. Yes. Man. Do I just save all this stuff in there and then throw the stuff away that I don't need? So pet went into there. This lowercase pet, is that the one that wasn't working? Well, I'm just going to hit the back bracket so it goes nowhere. Entity is going to go into Interlisp. Man, do I have to type that out every time? Interlisp CLOS battle. Take damage. Interlisp CLOS battle. .lisp. If I knew how to I don't even know, like if I knew how to grab that, copy the line above, I think this might be a good place to cheat real quick, because I'm pretty sure if I was in a Linux machine right now doing that, I could definitely find a way to cheat past this stuff using my X clipboard or something. So I'll just pretend like this is no clip or something. Interlisp CLOS battle. And then close that. And then I'm just going to hit enter here. Take damage entity. I'm going to take it that this is a generic function. This is the method. Yeah, it's saying it right here. Generic function of methods. So I'm just going to say Alt-V. Interlisp CLOS battle. And right here, I'm going to put the right square bracket because I don't know what this is and I don't want to save that in the file I'm in or where I should put that file. All entities, this is a global variable. I don't care about that. Buffers, global variable, I don't care about it. So just the right square bracket's going to say nowhere. Blob, don't care about it. Hero, don't care about it. Ghost, don't care about it. Tree frog, don't care about it. Battle till death. Function or macro, yes. Alt-V. Paste that. Create entity. That's the function that creates the entities. Yes, I want that. Alt-V. And then now we should be able to say ls. And I don't see my file in here. Oh yeah, because there's another command. Make files. Is it make files? Make file? You know, I think I can just type cleanup maybe to run all this. Hopefully anyway. IO. I am supposed to type cleanup or make files, but I don't remember. Like, do I remember how to do that? Oh, I'm thinking of cleanup and make files at the same time. But I'm wondering if this will do it for me. I don't know. Let's see. Interlisp battle lcom not found. Compile all functions. Interlisp CLOS battle instead. Yes. Listing. No, I don't care about the listing. Redefine. Yes. Oh, just confirm it. Yes. Save expers. Yes. So I'm hitting Y. Sorry about that beep. It's loud in my ears. Probably louder in your ears. I don't know how to turn the beep off inside Interlisp itself. There's like a no beep nil or something, or no beep. I don't think it actually sets it. It's probably like IL something anyway. Now the question is the Interlisp list file there? Yes, it did. So I have a Lisp file, but I don't see the compiled one. I just want to see that. See Interlisp clause battle Lisp. Some of this, because it's called comms. Does that mean this is the compiled file? So the question is, can I log out and load that in, and does it work? So I think it's IL log out now that I'm in this other one. So I'm not saving. Like, if I resume that, then I would have all this stuff still running. But because I didn't do that, then now if I say load, do I have to put the quote there? I think I can quote this or double quote it because there's only one version there. If I wanted a different version, I'd have to double quote it. But Interlisp clause battle .lisp. Oh, you know what? Let me say no to that. I don't care what read table I'm in at the moment. But I do want to be inside something that actually has clause in it, just to be more convenient. And then so we'll say load Interlisp clause battle Lisp. And then battle till death. Cool. And then does that mean I can say ILDF battle till death, and then just draw a box here? And then the only thing that would be interesting is to change this to, let's say, what was it, 12 earlier? And then Control X that, and then come over here and redo this. Oh, because I redid it. Sorry. So this is a 1, 2, 3 maybe. Fix -3. Oops. Fix, is it -4 now or -3? I don't know, because I messed that up. So fix -4. Battle till death. It'll probably be easier just to type it. And then yeah, so we get a longer one. And then we could just change that to a 1. Control X. And then redo. And see, we have a short fight. Ribbit!